the loneliness before I knew what it was. Saw the bills on your table for your unrequited love. I would be nothing without you holding me up. Now I'm strong enough for both of us. Shoulders, tell me what you see. 'Cause I am a giant. We'll be breaking boulders underneath our feet. I am a giant. Oh, I am a giant.
Well, hello, good morning and welcome. I hope this finds you very well, and welcome to our special webinar on how to win one of our awards, whether in Bath, Bristol, Cardiff or Exeter. And it's great to see we've got an absolute bumper crop of people watching us today, and thank you for joining us. My name is Greg Ingham, the co-founder of Media Clash with my wife Jane Ingham. We run these awards and publish magazines in each of our cities, and I'm also joined by our MD, Steph.
Hi everyone, thank you. Thanks so much for joining us today. So throughout the webinar today, please feel free to send your questions in via the Q&A button at the bottom. You can send those in anonymously if you wish, and we'll cover as many as possible throughout. Just so you know, this webinar is being recorded and will be available on our YouTube channel shortly, and then will be shared widely, including on our awards site, so that everyone can see what's best to do. The aim of this webinar is to talk you through what's required from the awards, top tips, key advice, and those all-important dates, how and why you might enter, what the judges are looking for, and generally to help you marshal your case to stand the best chance of being a finalist and then possibly a winner. We've also been asked about sponsorship, so we'll be running a similar webinar about sponsoring the awards on Jan the 14th at 11 AM. But now here's a flavour of our 4 awards.
Nothing without you holding me up. Now I'm strong enough for both of us. Both of us, both of us, both of us. I am a giant. Stand up on my shoulders. Tell me what you see. 'Cause I am a giant. We'll be breaking boulders underneath our feet.
Wow, that just makes me so excited for the next season of awards.
Brilliant. And we've already had a couple of questions, one about the judging process. We'll come on to that shortly. Someone has asked, our good friend anonymous attendee has asked, can I win an award? Yes, you can. You have to have had a great year, nominate, which we'll talk about in a moment, be chosen by the judges, and we'll see what happens. But in theory, you can, whoever you are, Mr. or Mrs. Anonymous. So these awards are built over the years into a key feature of business and civic life in each of the cities. And frankly, all the more so in these times. And thank you for your support. We're going to talk a bit about what the awards mean, but here's what they meant to one winner in our then Cardiff Life Awards. Just take a look at this.
We are now going to reveal our first winner. And our first winner of the creative category is...
Good luck, Beth.
Come on.
Beth Morris. There you are, Beth. You're looking happy, you're looking smiley, you're pleased to win this award.
Happy days indeed. It just gets me every time, that one. It's just a sort of microcosm of the impact that awards have, in this case, domestically, with Beth Morris in one screen in one room, her family in the other, and that was the library actually. Perfectly lovely. We've had another question from Eliza Gray saying, can I enter Bath and Bristol Awards? In principle, yes, provided you qualify. All companies need to have some sort of direct relationship to the cities. So it's a rough 25 mile radius from the cities. Clearly Bath and Bristol are close. If you're, say, in Keynsham or Salford or some such, you would qualify for both cities. You choose one or other, but please have a look at the criteria on the website about distance, and if you qualify. Anyway, so these awards, as you can see, they're great for teams, they're great for families in the prior case, but great for teams, and it's really valuable to recognise, it's always valuable to recognise our team's contributions, I have to say, particularly in these times. It's also great for business. You get the recognition, you get the validation as well, but also the marketing opportunities, and we'll come on to those. They do have that extra value of independent judges, of that peer recognition. For all of us, it's fairly rare when people other than our own teams and our customers recognise the quality of what we do and so on. So this is a public recognition of the excellence of your enterprise. One other thing, internally for us, your nominations help our teams understand more about what you actually do, which can help us in terms of coverage. It might even lead to an invitation to a speaking slot at one of our business clubs or our other events, such as EntreConf, our Entrepreneurs Conference, or the forthcoming Property Symposium on Sustainability in March.
And looking at the categories, we cover all aspects of life in the city. So that's everything from arts to education, hospitality to pro services, property, charity, business services, new business, and much more. You can see the full list on screen there. Everyone plays their part in the city. And new this year is the sustainability category. So absolutely any business can demonstrate that they're acting in a much more sustainable way. The evening also culminates in the Platinum Award, which is given by the judges to the single standout category winner of the evening. The awards are completely free to enter, so have a think about which categories work best for your company or organisation. It may be that as well as your immediate area, others might be relevant, like civic or business services or that new sustainability category.
Yeah, and this is what the nominations form looks like. There are actually 7 questions, and we'll go through each so you can be really clear about what's expected. The first is the information gatherer, probably the easiest to answer, but please make sure you do fill in each aspect. It's vital for us to have that info. It's standard stuff, but it'll save us chasing you for that sort of information, which is potentially a bit tedious. But if you're a finalist, note this, we'll use your own descriptor on the night on screen. Those descriptors are also used in the events guides. So again, it's your opportunity to foreground what you do within a strict word count. Picks. We're really keen on this. Please be distinctive. I mean, use whatever photos you wish, of course, but this is your company, your culture. Imagine seeing it on huge screens on awards night. How do you want to look? Corporate, serious, formal, fun, informal, social, office building maybe, or the team, maybe projects, maybe people. Think of your visual identity and just choose a great pick that summons up your business however you wish best to be seen. Do fill in each of those areas, as we say. And one other, I'm just going to remind you, there's a few questions coming in, but please do send your questions today. This is a very open process, and we really do want to try to address any matters which people raise. Thanks.
On to what the judges will be looking for. So please make sure you structure your nominations to reflect these weightings that are shown on screen now. So clear evidence of your business or organisational excellence in the year will be judged based on 50% of the judgment. 15% will be given to the quality of the nomination itself, so how it's written, how it's laid out. The civic and charity and ecological side of things will be given 15%, and the distinctiveness of your offering will be given 15%. And there's a section at the end also for testimonials from your customers and clients, which is 5%. So let's talk about these.
Yeah, we'll go into some detail on these. So this element is the single most important. As Steph has said, it's worth 50%. Just remember that. Think about how you're communicating that. Consider this. What's been new distinctive, strong, good, better about your 2021? How did you and your team get through or develop? What are you most proud of? And yes, whilst it may not have been a record year for all the obvious reasons, which we're not going to go into right now, but that will also, remember, apply to your peers. It's all relative. All our experience of 2021, we are, you know, all in the same boat, perhaps all in the same storm, but perhaps in different boats. But it's really, really important that you demonstrate what success looked like rather than just saying it. The number of times we see nominations saying, we've had a great year, happy days, tell us, tell the detail, because that's what judges will be looking for. You can show where you've had some form of success. A few steers, it might be sales, it might be headcounts, it might be new offers, it might be some sort of external reward, something new, distinctive, interesting, and yeah, 50% of your nomination. So use a reasonable amount of your word count. You'll be surprised that some only give a desultory sentence or two. That's really not enough to help the judges. 500 words is decent, so make it count, please.
And also think about what makes you different. You will know that. You'll know what makes your company special, but the judges may well not. So make sure you tell them. Explain what makes your business stand out, its values, services, products, and the all-important team. That's worth 15%. So then consider what you do for your immediate area or your city. Civic values matter increasingly, both fundamentally to the city and also to the perception of your company. So think about things like, do you buy local? Lockdown itself has made things so much more local and us reflect on our local area. So with people loving their cities more, we know that through our magazines. Use the space to tell the judges about what you do. And again, that's worth 15%. Also, as I alluded to earlier, it's really important that you can enter more than one category. So please, but if you do, please make sure you explain why you're entering more than one category. So don't just tick the multiple boxes and then go on to complete the nomination based on focusing on one. If you really have a great deal to say, it might help to do 2 separate nominations so that you can really make your angle for each of the categories that you've chosen. It's just all about increasing your chances of being shortlisted and then chosen as a winner. And there's no reason at all why you might not win 2 or more categories.
So just before we come on to the closing pitch, I'll talk about that in a second. A couple of questions again. Will you send these slides around and the info around afterwards? I didn't manage to get the percentages down quick enough. Those percentages are on the site and are on the nominations form, but a couple of things. One, we'll put this presentation on each of the relevant award sites. But 2, there will also be the YouTube version of this, which we will send around, we'll put on the site, we'll stick on social, and we'll send around to all participants. We really want to make it just completely open, as transparent as possible to give you the very best chance of winning one of our awards. Another question, who are the judges and how are they selected? Excuse me. Again, we'll come on to that judging process, but I'd ask you to think like this as a judge. Imagine being a judge, reading through the nominations. Give them the summary. Imagine sitting around a table saying, I think blah, blah, blah is worth considering. They did this. Give them the ammo, the summary. And by all means, add fresh points if helpful. Now, imagine a summary that said something like, in addition to the points above, we've also, and you can stick an extra thing there as well. The closing pitch, it's sort of what Hollywood calls the elevator pitch, meaning that it lasts as long as a ride in a lift. Go, make sure it works. Testimonials, pretty obvious, what will impress judges. It's worth 5%. It's worth doing if you have some good ones. Note, they really do need, in all cases, to be from the calendar year 2021. Supporting material, it's optional. It probably best suits visually led info or images. It could be a brochure. It's not essential. It's certainly useful. It gives, again, giving judges some sort of sense of what a company feels like. Visuals can often help with that. But note, it's 4 sides of A4 max if you fancy doing that. And please make sure, as you complete the form and send it, make sure you register for the grand reveal. And we'll have our own grand reveal of what that is coming shortly. And of course, it's always good to follow the awards on social and just help spread the word about your engagement.
So onto the timing and all important dates. So all the nominations are open now on the sites, and here's when they all close. So Bath is just a few days after we're back on Thursday, January 13th, then Exeter on January 27th, Cardiff on February 10th, and Bristol on March 10th. And we'll be sending out multiple warnings via all the channels, so social, email, and the website, so that you stay completely up to date on when those closing dates are. The period covered for nominations is 2021, so calendar year 2021. So there's really no need to wait until the deadlines to complete your nominations. You can get going with them now. We then go through all the nominations and shortlist only the best. Please remember, we have several hundred entrants each year to each awards, so not all make the shortlist. The finalists are those with the most credible chance of winning each category. And then we announce the finalists in one go, and that's live on Zoom and on social media on these days, each at 2 p.m. As Greg mentioned, the grand reveals. Bath's on Thursday, January 20th, Exeter's on February 3rd, Cardiff's on February 17th, and Bristol's on March 16th. So yes, do you register for these and save the date for the big announcements?
And of course, all these dates, just to reiterate the point, all the dates are on the website, they'll be on the YouTube version of this, and there'll be all the extensive email marketing and social media marketing in the lead up to each of these shoulder events and so on. Another question from the prodigious questioner, anonymous attendee: if you have won other awards over the last year in recognition of the difference you've made, should you include this? Yes. Well, I don't need to give one-word answers. There you go. Right, let's come on to the judges. The judges, they're the ones who choose the awards, they and they alone. And it's a panel of independent judges chosen afresh each year from all different areas of business and civic life in the 4 cities. You'll see some of the larger companies and organisations here, familiar names playing their part in the city. And then there are also a number of local companies. And the aim, what we try to do, is to have some sort of combination or balance by size of company and sectors through each of the 4 cities, and also to balance genders, of course, to seek to reflect the diversity on the wider basis within the cities. Very broadly, it can't be scientific, but very broadly, the aim is to reflect the city, to get some independent judges who think independently and who will take the time to sift through all the entrants and make their case and discuss fairly. We send out detailed judges' notes to make sure the process is as fair, thorough and transparent as possible. Some of the judges we will know before, of course, we're pretty active in each of the 4 cities. Others we won't, but all are absolutely entrusted with the vital decisions. It's up to them. Let's come on to the judging process. So the judges gather and debate. The decisions are wholly collective. It's the wisdom of crowds approach. Our role is to ensure that discussion is fair and thorough, that they've considered each of the finalists, and the eventual results are supported by all judges who don't influence the outcomes. It has to have that credibility to have the full validity. We do send out clear criteria for our judges, and these notes are available for all to see on the websites. Decision process mirrors the nominations guidance. Note, Steph touched on this earlier, 15% is given for the quality of nomination. We've seen this before, great companies, great organizations, but they stick through a pretty skimpy nom. And if you haven't given the judges much ammo, you just be marked down for it. If you're not taking some time to actually explain why you've had a great year, why should they choose you? It's up to you to make your case. And of course, the vast majority do absolutely brilliantly. Judges choose without fear or favor. Check the winners from last year in each of the 4 cities to give you some idea of the types of organizations. Neither national, larger scale corporate, nor indie is inherently better. What matters is how well they've played their hand they have. And I'll say this about the national companies. It's not about the national brand. It's not about the scale of enterprise. It's what they've done in the city. And many larger scale companies are absolutely superb how they connect. And of course, the independents, it absolutely is all about what they do within the city. But we try to make it very clear, it's up to you to explain how well you've achieved what you sought to achieve in the year, whatever scale of company you have. Previous winners can win again, and indeed have done so. It's new year, new judges, clean slate. And companies absolutely can win 1 or more categories if they're the best. It's up to the judges. Advertising makes zippo difference, no difference at all. Integrity of the judges is at stake. You imagine putting your name forward to various winners. You want to make sure that the process is fully credible. They wouldn't allow this, either individually or collectively. Nor would we want it, of course. The validity of the decisions relies on complete independence. Some winners have never advertised, some do. So be it. So it goes. Doesn't matter. Never has. In fact, it's never even been mentioned in judging sessions. Come on to a little bit more about the judging process and what they're looking for. Reread that nominations guidance and then imagine what it's like being a judge, having to read, assess, discuss, make recommendations and argue their case. What do you want them to know and say about your business? How would you seek proof of success rather than just an assertion of excellence? Again, more business, more team members, more services, products, prove your success. Quantify excellence in the year. One other steer, where possible, avoid overly familiar claims. People are our biggest asset. Virtually all businesses, that is true, particularly after this year. But instead, give the judges smart insight into what really makes your company and your year award-worthy. And note, to ensure complete fairness, judges are asked to recuse themselves. That is, physically, they will not be there for that part of the discussion if there is the potential any conflict of interest, actual or perceived. Most obviously, that'd be if a judge's company is a finalist. That's easy. They're out. They're not involved in that at all. But also, if, for example, they might have worked on a recent project or a case, all judges have to have full disclosure and they are recused, exempted from discussing. And in those circumstances, judges not only can't contribute, but they actually won't know the outcome until awards night, just like everyone else.
So let's move on to the build-up. So you've written your sparkling nomination, you've been shortlisted, the judges have gathered, and we're into the build-up of the awards. The excitement is rising. Many companies push their success in being a finalist on social media and via the window stickers, which we send out, and digital assets. Also via official reviews in the magazines, which will preview the event itself. All finalists are in the official show guide as well. It's free promotion to a core audience. And of course, tables and tickets are available. Most finalists view the awards as a celebration and recognition of what they've achieved, often bringing their teams and clients along. Others also see it as a benefiting profile as part of business development. So it's entirely up to you. We'd prefer all our finalists to be there, especially those who've won. Imagine if you did win and you weren't there and you missed that amazing moment. It's not worth it. So ahead of the awards night, we also run a free gathering, especially for all finalists and sponsors. These are really lovely standalone events in their own right, and the excitement continues to build ahead of the awards evening itself. You can see the dates for all of these on screen now. So Bath's February 2nd, Exeter's February 16th, Cardiff's February 28th, and Bristol's April the 5th. These are exclusive celebratory events. And on to the actual awards night. It's uber glam time. Nothing beats being there. Get dressed up in all your finery. It's black tie. And here's what we cover on the night. And some of the details of the free marketing assets you get as a finalist. Digital and physical reflections of your success. And then the judges' comments on your business if you win. Aside from what we hope is a really successful evening, they're also just so joyous and a real great celebration of the city. And here's the timings through the evening and the awards dates themselves. So you can see there the awards nights usually start at 6:30 and end around 11 p.m, where we go on to the after party. And the dates for the awards for next year is March 3rd for Bath, March 17th for Exeter, March 31st for Cardiff, and May 12th for Bristol. And all details are on the website. Looking at the actual awards, this is what they look like. They're actually very heavy, distinctive, and worth winning. They're carefully designed and crafted to reflect each of the cities individually. So Bath is a column made of Bath stone. Cardiff's is crafted from Welsh slate. Exeter's mirrors the cathedral, stained glass window. And Bristol, look at this, look at the creation. It's burnished in a forge.
I've watched that quite a few times. Hypnotic, maybe not twice, but absolutely hypnotic. And this, by the way, when Steph says that they're heavy, this is what the Bristol Life Award eventually looks like. Bloody hell, it is heavy. As you're saying, burnished in that forge and absolutely proudly reflecting, in this case, the Clifton Suspension Bridge. Arabella Tresillian has just said amazing. I'm assuming that refers to that creation. Maybe the whole presentation, who knows? Jodie Murray, like others, has asked, will you be able to share this presentation afterwards? Absolutely so, on the site, reference in emails, and of course the YouTube link as well. We want to make sure everyone has the greatest opportunity of making their case. So there you go, lots of dates here, and there's no chance you're taking all of those, but again, I stress we want to communicate this very widely. And thank you also to Adele Bradbury saying, get excited. I hope you're excited. We're very excited indeed. Those are all the key dates. We will absolutely make clear the dates are rock solid in all cases. So there's a variety of different things. Nominations open, when nominations close, when the grand reveal is, when the sponsors and finalist receptions are, and of course when the awards nights are as well. Really, many thanks to you all for watching and for your questions. And please do ask our teams if there's any further information you want to know. Absolutely all the very best of luck with your noms. This has been a Media Clash production, and this has been our special How to Win an Award webinar. Thank you, and good luck for the festive season. Thank you.